right, we should be live any second now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Chris, and this is my channel, Born on 11/9/70. We got some information I'd like to share. It is 2:26 in the morning Eastern Standard Time on the 7th of April, 2017, and I was checking a little while ago, and I was seeing the price of gold and silver starting to really go up, and I was wondering why. We have gold up $12 an ounce, and silver roughly around 20 cents an ounce, and it was a big move for late at night, and I was trying to figure out what would be the reason for that, so I started the search, and I want to share this with you. There is some breaking news that there is a attack on Syria, and I want to do a screen capture, so give me a second. Let me put this on. I will post the article link. There's many of them that you can check. This is from CNBC. There's plenty of different sites. I just wanted to pick one of the first ones I could find. But according to this, Trump launches attack on Syria with 59 Tomahawk missiles. I'm just going to read a little bit of it, and you can read the rest if you want. The U.S. military attacked a Syria government airfield with 59 Tomahawk missiles on Thursday evening. The missiles targeted the Shayrat airfields near Homs and were in response to a Tuesday chemical weapons attack. Officially announcing the strike, President Donald Trump said that he had targeted the airfield, had launched a chemical attack on a rebel-held area, and he called on other nations to oppose Syria's embattled leader. Okay, so I'm not going to read much more of that. If you want to read the article or many other articles, Pyro, for you to say finally is kind of disgusting because, there are people dying, and I don't think that's something to be too proud of. So, be careful what you wish for. If you want to have excitement in people dying, that's up to you. I don't view it as something something to be proud of. I've been trying to warn people about how governments are run. I understand that people like Donald Trump. I understand people didn't like Hillary Clinton, but in a corporate-run entity like the United States and any other country, presidents do not run countries. They just do what they're told. And you could see this is just a scenario that can prove that this is not about unifying the world. This is not about making all of the people wealthy and together and full of harmony and all that tree hugger kind of stuff. This is about control. This is about fear. This is about dominance. And this is about corporate entities making a profit off of the expense of others. And oh, okay, you could watch me. Okay, that's a lot better, Pyro. I'm very glad to hear it wasn't that you were saying finally he bombed Syria. So thank you for clarifying that. But this is a major event right now. And what happens from here, who knows? But it's not going to be cookies and cream. Now, I've told people all the time, don't worry about fear porn. This is not about, oh, now there's going to be a nuclear war. Because I've said on numerous occasions, we will never have a nuclear war. And the reason being is the elites and the people who control everything, they profit off of our labor and our debt. If you destroy the cattle when you're a cattle rancher, you have no product. So there is no way that will ever happen. So they will scare you to living death because if you're in fear, you are easily controlled. So I want people that at least follow my channel to know that this doesn't mean now there's going to be a nuclear war. And I'm sure there's going to be people like Alex Jones and other fear porn channels that are going to use the clickbait to try and get people to go to their channel because they're desperate for views, and they're going to try and scare the living daylights out of you. Now, this isn't a good situation, but I really want people to understand the situation that we are living in because, and I can only really speak for the United States because that's where I live. I don't know how other governments are run, but they're primarily pretty much the same. These are all corporate run. They're not run by the king. They're not run by a dictator. They're not run by a prince. They're not run by a president. They are run by the owners. And I'll give you a prime example. If you own, let's say, John's Bakery, and you are so successful you have a John's Bakery franchise, and you're opening stores all around the country. Now, you're the owner of it, complete 100%. and you decide to open up another store and you need somebody to help run it for you. So you get a person that becomes president of your company. Now, the president of that company can tell managers and employees what to do. But can that president of your company start selling cigarettes without your permission? No, because even though he's high up in the food chain, so to speak, and he could boss the managers around and the employees around, it's not up to him or her to be able to do something about your business without your permission. So that's how governments throughout the world work. So I know everybody likes Donald Trump, and obviously, is he better than Hillary Clinton? Clinton? Absolutely. But this is a system that is run by corporations throughout the world. They want us to be in fear. They want you to think, well, what if there's a nuclear option? Now, obviously, can I say 100% that it's not a possibility? Of course not. But like I said, if you're owners of a business, let's say, like I said, a cattle ranch, and you're making money off of your cattle, it would not be a smart idea if you slaughtered all your cattle. Now, just imagine if the cattle had the ability to, build bridges, shovel up the poop, to maintain the lawns, to build the buildings, to teach the children, to take out the garbage. You're not going to get rid of those things. The elites know this. That's why the few can control the many, because they always have the many thinking, what if? And they keep them in poverty. There's a reason why governments want people on any kind of government assistance or welfare program, because it gives you just enough to get by and never enough to ever succeed. And you will always need them to continue to feed you that little bit of crack so you can survive. So this situation right now where Trump is bombing Syria, that is not going to lead to anything good, because there's always going to be retaliations. What happens from here, who knows? But what I'm trying to make people understand is this is corporate run entity. It's all about having a military and utilizing it. Because if you're spending billions or trillions of dollars on a military to just sit around and twiddle their thumb, well, eventually you have to utilize it. And that's what's happened throughout history. When you build a country, you start out with physical gold and silver, you start creating bridges and roads, and it starts to expand. Then you need a defense system, and defense means a military. Militaries don't work for free. The people that feed them don't work for free. The people that clothe them don't work for free. The people that make the weapons don't work for free. You have to pay them. And as you expand, you're actually opening more and more, so you need more currency, and it's all about expansion. If you are paying the military to just sit around, then it's wasted money. So they have to utilize it. And that's why they're always, when they strike somewhere, they always take some sort of resource. And even Donald Trump has said it himself. He says he didn't want to go into Iraq, but we shouldn't have left without the oil. So this is something I want people to really start to understand. And if we, the people throughout the world, don't really start putting our foot down, who knows what these kind of situations can lead into. But make no mistake, there will be, in my opinion, no nuclear war. Because do you think any of these elitist people are going to be building the next bridge? Do you think they are going to be able to continue their Ponzi fiat debt scheme, their pyramid scheme, if no one's there to participate? Do you think they're going to be shoveling the poop? Absolutely not. They want us to do that for them so they could sit in their nice fancy mansions and play their nice fancy games, buying sports teams and playing chess and doing all these wonderful things on our labor and our debt. So why would they destroy it? They always want you to think, what if? They want a possibility. But if we allow these things to continue to go unchecked and we say, well, there's nothing we can do, you seem to forget that they are supposed to be representatives of us, which means they need us to survive, not the other way around. And if we continue to look the other way, things could potentially get worse. Now, here's the beautiful thing, and I've said this so many times. There is no etched in stone. There is not one destiny. There is no only one pathway. Only if you believe there is that the possibility. In an infinite universe with infinite possibilities, you can change anything just by the fact of participating and trying to make a change. But they don't want that. They want you to stay in fear. They want you to say, don't worry, you sit down, you collect your welfare checks, we'll take care of you. Just vote for us and, just make sure you keep spending all of your money, use your credit cards, borrow money, be in debt, go out and consume, because they view you as a consumer. I mean, think of it like Pac-Man. All it does is consume those little dots and the ghosts. That's what they view you as. You are a price tag. You are an employee of a corporation. The president can tell you everything that they can do, but he is not the owner. And that is why no one president anywhere in the world can make a change. So he'll either play ball or he'll be assassinated or they'll impeach him. And that will go for anybody, not just for Trump. The reason they wanted Hillary in so bad is because she was already bought and paid for. She was willing and ready to play ball and do whatever they wanted. So is this the good cop, bad cop scenario? Do we want to risk potential harm coming our way or somewhere around the world? Because with that attack, somebody's dying. And people have died. And if you think that's the last people on earth that are going to die, unfortunately, the problem is it's over there. We don't see it. We didn't see these bombs. We didn't hear them. We didn't know they happened. We didn't get affected by them yet. But if we continue to look the other way and continue to allow others to dictate what our purpose in life is supposed to be, unless they're good people that are really there to help us, we're really putting our trust in a bunch of criminals. And I've said this so many times, I haven't said it in a while, but I'll ask you can even ask your most dedicated government people, somebody that's totally into the government, believes in them 100% like I once did. Name 3 politicians in your entire lifetime, whether they are mayors, senators, governors, presidents, what have you. Name 3 people that worked for the government or are working for government that you would say are 100% honest, genuine, sincere, and have kept every one of their promises to the best of their ability. People struggle to think of one. And these are the people that we put our trust in. These are the people that regulate what can and cannot be placed in your food. These are the things, the entity that is also responsible for what can and cannot be in your medicines. These are the people can also be the ones that regulate what can and cannot be taught in school. This is the entity that also is in charge of what can and cannot be said in the media. They control all of the outlets that affect you. And I've yet to find one person that could name 3 people that work for the government in your entire lifetime that fit the category of being honest and full of integrity. And yet we believe everything that they say because they put on a suit and tie. They come from Harvard University or Princeton or Yale or some very important place that we can never afford because we're not part of the club, who smile on us on camera and pretend they're there to help us. By their deeds you shall know them. So if we want to continue looking the other way, like I've said so many times, evil thrives when good people do nothing. So once this video uploads, I will post the link in the description. You can check it out, read any article you want. All you have to do is Google Trump launches. Actually, you only have to go that far, and it will automatically come up. So he has made a strike. People have died. Who knows how many of them are innocent people? Who knows, just because they said there was some chemical attack, how do we know who did it? How do we know if it actually happened? These are the questions we should be asking. These are the questions the media should be asking, but they never will. They're part of the problem. And if we keep looking the other way, eventually it's going to affect you, your family, your friends, your livelihood. And unfortunately, throughout history, that's why there have been repeated revolutions. Which one has brought us to a utopia? How many revolutions and coups and wars have there been for peace? How many of them in history have created a utopia? Not one. And yet, we keep trying to do the same things over and over again. And like I've said, The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So we continually throughout history, the poor people, the masses, the sleeping masses, put our faith in government rulers who promise us the world and deliver nothing but chaos, debt, poverty, sickness, depression, and war. Well, they profit. Why do we keep allowing this to happen? So this is just the start. So I'm not going to make this video too long because I know when I make videos too long, unfortunately, most people will not pay attention, and I want this to be important. So I want you to share this. I want you to think about it. And anybody like Alex Jones or some of these fear porn places that are going to tell you there's going to be a nuclear war tomorrow and we're all going to die are just selling you a bunch of fear porn so you could panic and put yourself in a lower vibrational energy, which is easier to control. Because when you're scared, they're there to protect you. And how good are they at doing that? It's time to think differently before it's too late. So if you want to believe Trump is still the answer, every day should show you that he can't do it himself, even if he was 100% genuine in everything he said. That's why, so far, Mexico is not paying for a wall. That's why Hillary Clinton is not in jail. They say wonderful things to get your vote and wave your flag and get you very patriotic and, oh, rah, 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 get them in. And then they solely disappoint. If we don't make a change, they're going to change it for us, and it ain't going to be anything good. So thanks for watching. When this re-uploads, if you could share it, if you could thumb it up, I would really appreciate the help, because obviously YouTube is probably going to flag this video, and it's probably not going to make it advertiser-friendly, which I don't care about. And I did, at the request of one of my subscribers, I never even knew what it was until somebody asked, but they mentioned a Patreon account. So what I'm going to do is I just opened it. The link is in the description. It's not mandatory at all, but what I'm going to do is at least once or twice, if not 3 times a week, I'm going to go through all of my 1,200 videos, and the ones that I find are most important, I'm going to upload there for people that are interested. Now, obviously, you can get them here for free, but it would be convenient for people if they wanted to go there. So the link is in the description. If you want to participate, you don't have to. And anybody that says if they want to complain, people are going to complain no matter what I do anyway, so I don't want to make them happy. So I'm going to end this video. Leave your comments. Please make sure you help by sharing this information. And it's time to realize that we are the governed. We are giving our consent through our silence. The United States of America Corporation and its documents and its constitution works because of the consent of the governed, which means we either agree, disagree, or say nothing. 2 of the 3 mean yes. 1 is through your silence because you're not arguing it. We could change this world tomorrow if the masses decided no more. Who steps up to the plate is up to you. Thanks for listening. Pay attention to what's going on. Get yourself out of the banking system. Get yourself out of debt. Get yourself some physical gold and silver, because like I said right now, I've always told people when it comes to physical gold and silver, put it in your hand, because if you can't hold it, you don't own it. Gold and silver are not making major runs right now, but you see gold is up to 1264. It's hit a point where 1250 was looking to be resistance. It's now broken that. Right now, silver is at 1841. Anytime there's situations like this, the market will react and they will go to gold and silver. So my prediction tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, when this becomes more mainstream, I have a feeling that gold and silver is going to rise a little bit. Now, is it going to stay that way? Who knows? That remains to be seen. But this sends a clear message that when there's panic and there's uncertainty, people always flock to precious metals. So don't wait until it's too late to spend, hundreds of fiat currencies extra to get the same thing you could have gotten now or in the past. Get yourself out of the banks, get yourself a federal credit union. Don't be afraid to ask questions, think for yourself, and don't forget to have your trolls spayed or neutered. Thank you so much for listening. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you next time. Have a great night, everybody. Please be safe.